Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So remember the video that I posted yesterday titled Black People Are Not Afraid Anymore? Well, listen to this. So a palm color man in Mississippi thought it would be a smart move to walk into a black bar and start shouting the N-word repeatedly, along with a bunch of other things clearly meant to provoke the people there, who of course were black people. Now, according to the news, this man was supposedly under the influence of alcohol. Personally, I am not a strong believer in blame it on the alcohol. I don't buy that BS. I've never believed in that whole blame it on the alcohol narrative. In my opinion, alcohol is just a confidence booster. It doesn't change how you feel, it reveals it. And in this case, it revealed exactly how this man truly feels about black people. Well, unfortunately for him, this was not the day to try it, because it definitely did not end well, and it didn't have to be this way. I've gathered a few clips from TikTok to give you guys for more context, so take a look, then I'll be right back at the end of this video to give my own 2 cents. Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below, and please remember that we do not support bullying, harassing on this channel. We are just doing this for educational purposes only. So drop your educational thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's watch this.
Holly Springs, Mississippi, deputies are investigating an incident where a man was beaten, stripped, and robbed for allegedly yelling racial slurs inside of a predominantly black club. The beating of a white man at CJ's Lounge. Witnesses report that they could hear him yelling and blurring out the N-word repeatedly. It started inside of the lounge and then spilled out into the courtyard. His jaw and eye busted. The incident is being investigated as a possible hate crime. The lieutenant says that the victim is just in a terrible state of mind right now. CJ's Lounge has been closed by the city because of this incident and previous others. Police say that he was kicked and stomped on nearly every part of his body. Beer poured on his unclothed body as people laughed and recorded with their phones.
Late Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Other guys in the area was listening, trying to remain calm. They asked for him to leave quietly.
But police say the man continued to call the patrons the N-word. Holly Springs police provided another video of the man outside the bar, speaking erratically, throwing what investigators believe to be gang signs.
According to Fox 13, the lounge was operating without a beer or business license.
And the news that is reported on this story has mitigated garbage, the unleashed audacity to call that man a victim of a hate crime. Someone explain to me how this drunk ass man's gonna wobble, squabble, trip and fumble up into a Mississippi bar full of black folk, call every last one of them the N-word, and then expect to be the victim of a hate crime. Y'all gonna call him the victim of a hate crime because he got beat the because consequences, bitch. Because we are not playing with y'all. But no, he's the victim of the hate crime. Are y'all fucking for real? That's some bullshit.
Understand, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from an ass whooping. Trump got people's heads so high in the clouds about their racism that they think their racism is a normal human action, and it is not. And y'all want black people to be so okay with y'all calling us the N-word that y'all try to disguise it by saying, oh, you guys are just sensitive. No, people are just not taking disrespect. And we have been dealing with racist white people for 400 plus years, and y'all want us to constantly be okay with it. It's not okay. And understand that black people are not scared of these type of people. We are just exhausted by their behavior. So all I have for you is thoughts and tariffs. Thoughts and tariffs.
Well, that sealed the deal. I don't know why it's so many people that have to keep reminding people that we are not those people. And then I just keep looking and looking how he hopping and gallivanting around the place like he is so out of place and so inebriated. That's just one of those things that happen when you go to places and you have a low awareness of situation and circumstances. It was so many people already leaving because they knew it was time to go. And then did you see little buddy in the corner that did not want to talk? So you already knew what was getting ready to happen. And that man went and he thought he was bigger than everybody. And he had the complexion for the protection. Child, I ain't heard about nobody being bad. Well, whatever they did to him in a long time.
I'm sorry I can't go live. I got banana. And another disclaimer, this is a burrito blanket, not stained. But, baby, y'all gonna have to understand, it's just some people that like to be treated. They like to be treated bad. They like low vibrational position. They like being stuck and stagnant. And because you don't like any of those things, you see yourself elevating. You refuse to be stuck in that mode. Oh, they gonna have a problem with you left and right. Because you have boundaries and you have morals. Because once those same practices are implemented onto them, they then gonna try to project them onto you. And let me tell you right now, that's when they got everything fucked up. Y'all can primarily see this at jobs. Y'all can see this in your community. You think different and act different, and you speak up for yourself, and you outspoken, and you know your procedures and policies. Oh, you are a threat, because they sit there and they allow that type of abuse because they want you to get abused too. Not never, not now, no.
So a little birdie told me that I guess somebody thought it was a bright idea to go down to an establishment in Mississippi and say the N-word. So they stripped him down to his birthday suit and gave him his birthday punches with foreign objects. Hey man, as it gets toward the summer, don't get bold now. Don't get bold. See, y'all think because he's president now, he gonna protect you. Look man, he can't protect you from what you bought, which is common sense in this scenario. I don't know why y'all trying to say it like you're not gonna cry in the car if you make it to the car. And even if you manage to make it to the car, you may be crying in a very different ER than the one you tried to use. It's not a very hard concept. You know, just don't say it. And then nobody has to go and say, I see you in the ICU. Now, it must be a short memory, but 2 Klan members, gone. Dude, ass beat. Who next?
It's true. Sometime, like on the movie Get On Up with James Brown, when the band left and he was talking shit to him, he told his boy, he said, sometimes in life you gotta know where you at on some real shit. He said them was the baddest boys in town, that they're just some heavy breathing motherfuckers. You know, it's kind of similar to that motherfucker walking into that Holly Springs bar in Mississippi. What they call it, CJ's? CJ's. He walked into a club spot called CJ's in the hood. A white man tattooed up, and that motherfucker calling black people the N-word, niggers. Woo, and he's intoxicated. Woo. This is like an experiment, 101. Some shit you never should do. I'm just saying. Not unless you want your ass beat. They say they beat that motherfucker with sticks or something, boy. You should see him. They stripped his ass. Yes. They show him on one. He out there bitch like he throwing up gang signs, nigga. He doing so he drunk. So you know the shit is extra. And he's imitating. Boy, the next time they show that motherfucker, he laid face down, butt ass naked, with all his tattoos showing, and them bitches pouring beer and shit on his ass. And he, like James Brown said, he just a heavy breathing motherfucker now. He's no longer bad. I'm just saying. Boy, sometimes you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and you gotta know when to run, white boy. I'm just saying. Hashtag real spit.
So you guys know about this that's circulating around TikTok, right? This is supposed to be the Mississippi N-word sayer that allegedly all these things happened to him, right? But the thing is, when we look at the bar owner for 3 years and his surveillance camera, none of that happened. And matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. The YT man came in and he went to have a great time. After his microaggression and his N-word saying, he was told to leave. He left, came right back in, and so aggressive with his fists held up, and he face pushed the black man so far that he could have hit his head on the counter. So now we out here using our YT tears to lie on both the news media and the police report. And I hope that bartender gets what he gets.
Okay, and there you have it, folks. That's the reality we are dealing with right now. So the CJ's Bar Lounge is now closed until further notice as police continue their investigation. This whole situation has left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths because one man decided it was a good idea to walk into a black bar and started shouting racial slurs like it was some kind of a performance. Remember what I said yesterday in my previous video, talking about, black people are not afraid. I talked about how the number of Shiloh Hendricks types of cases is on the rise. You've seen that this is not new. It keeps happening. It's been happening steadily since January. And here we are again. I'm not saying it started happening this year. These things have been happening. But I'm saying there's been an increase or a rate at which they are happening. So this is another situation that could have been avoided if respect had just been shown from the start. What makes this case even more frustrating is how law enforcement is categorizing it. So according to reports, the police are calling this a hate crime. At first you might think, well, it sounds like one, but here's the real truth. It's not being framed against the black people in the bar. It's being framed as if this white man who intentionally walked into a black establishment to provoke the patrons was somehow the victim here. Make that make sense. How is it a hate crime when he was the one who instigated the situation? He walked in, he started shouting the N-word repeatedly. He was warned multiple times to stop, and yet he kept going. People tried to de-escalate. He chose to keep pouring gas on the fire. That's what we can call it. So when things didn't go his way, now suddenly it's a hate crime. That label feels misplaced and deeply insulting, especially to the black community that was targeted in this situation. People are tired of the constant disrespect, tired of the double standards, tired of having to constantly be the bigger person only to be painted as the aggressor when they finally stand up for themselves. I keep saying this. Black people are some of the most friendly, welcoming, and loving people you ever meet. We are not out here looking for trouble. We are not trying to start fights. If anything, we go out of our way to keep the peace. So let me ask this question. Had that man walked into CJ's lounge bar respectfully, without yelling the racial slurs, without causing a scene, don't you think he might have actually had a good time, make friends? It didn't have to end this way. It did not have to end the way it did. But he made a choice, and with every slur he screamed, he sealed his fate. There's a simple rule that a lot of us live by. Respect me, I'll respect you. Disrespect me, and I'll disrespect you. It's not rocket science. It's not some complex moral philosophy. It's basic human decency. You give what you get. And when you go out of your way to provoke people, don't be surprised when the energy you send out is returned to you loudly and clear. At this point in 2025, where we are as a society, white people especially, those who still harbor racist views, should be working towards healing, not adding fuel to the fire. We are in an era where people are finally having honest conversations about race, accountability, and equity. Yet here comes someone trying to rewind the clock, acting like it's 1965 and not expecting any consequences. That's not how it works anymore. Look, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not saying it's right to meet ignorance with aggression, but I'm saying this. You can't keep poking people and expect them to just smile and take it. We've seen too many of these situations spiral out of control because one person decided to be loud, rude, and racist, and then play victim when things went left. There are real consequences for that kind of behavior. How many wake-up calls should people receive before they finally realize to say these people are not tolerating nonsense? This is bigger than just one man walking into a bar. It's a reflection of the deeper issues still plaguing this country. Racism isn't gone, it's just dressed differently. Sometimes it walks into a bar with a drink in hand and a slur on its lips, thinking it can get away with it. But times have changed and people are no longer sitting back in silence. So with that being said, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about all this? Do you agree that alcohol isn't the excuse? Do you agree with me? Or do you agree that alcohol is just a booster, confidence booster? Do you think calling this a hate crime is a misstep? Please drop your thoughts in the comment section down below, because I truly want to know what this community thinks. Let's talk about it and let's be real. because the more we shine a light on these situations, the less room hate has to hide. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for continuing to show up with open eyes and open hearts. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out my future uploads. I've got more to say, more to uncover, and more stories to bring to you that the mainstream isn't always talking about. I'll see you in my next video. So until then, please stay peaceful.